Hey everyone, I just wanted to make this video to point out the obvious here for anyone that's been following along to what libertarianism is all about and what actual the principles and philosophy of individual liberty entails, right? The complete rejection of forced subjugation, of forced collectivism, the sacrificing of the individual for the concept of the greater good, which we all know is, what is this greater good? It sounds good in theory, but once you put even a few minutes of thought into it, what is this greater good? We all know there's good people, there's bad people, and there's everything in between. And it doesn't even mean that good people are always good or bad people are always bad. So what is the greater good? Unless it's an idea. The only concept of a genuine greater good could be an idea. And the greatest idea on the planet so far that's ever put forth is the respect of the individual, is individual liberty. So let me say first and foremost, kudos and bravo to all these leftists, although they're not doing it to appease people like myself, because they're still very much, collectivists. But I love the fact that they, because of politics, and it's all about it like this team sport, right? Team A against Team B, left wing against right wing. And it's how they seem to have to always be completely opposing each other. Or whether that's done on purpose by the political/ruling class, I'll leave that up to you to decide. But I love the fact that you're seeing a lot of these leftists now, right? That are coming out in complete disgust and hatred and vitriol directed towards those who promote National Socialism. Nazis, right? I love it. I love it. I've been talking about this stuff for years now. It's like finally, after all these years, when I've been trying to point out to people on the right and the left, or anyone that believes in collective ideology, right? Those people that want to fly under the radar somehow and pretend that they're, I don't know what. Like I say, more benevolent than those that on the other side of the political aisle, when in reality, when you look at them, wait a minute, you're just two wings of the same bird, right? And you actually need each other to actually gain any ability to have flight. So I'm glad that we're seeing, and I mean the right wingers so far, we're seeing a lot of them have turned against and rejected National Socialism, collectivism, right? We've seen that. That's been a move where you've seen a lot of people that have now turned towards being, they won't even identify as such. A lot of them now are just, they're trying to claim, right, to be libertarians because they recognize, this is where I should be. Right? All of a sudden, it's funny, I started being a libertarian while recognizing that I am a libertarian many years ago now. And it was quite unpopular at the time. But as with most times I've noticed, I'm ahead of the curve for the most part. But it's very nice to see a lot of people are starting to align with me. Those on the left and those on the right. But predominantly this whole thing I'm trying to point out is the people that are rejecting National Socialism. I love it. You see all these leftists. And here in Canada in particular, it's great to hear. Because that means they're going to be completely against all the established political parties in this country, because they're all collectivists, every single one of them, and they're all National Socialists by design. And even our most dominant propaganda outlet, the CBC, Canada's national broadcaster, the Canadian Broadcast Corporation, right, that is the dictator and the disseminator of news, basically, in this country, that that's another thing, and I've pointed this out many times too. I'm glad you're against National Socialism, because CBC is both nationalist and relies on the socialist model, on the wealth redistribution model for its funding. So all you people on the left, that a lot of you support the CBC, I'm very happy to see that you are now willing to stand on firm ground as far as principles goes. Good for you. You're against National Socialism, so am I. So let's do what we can now. Let's join together. Let's come together and rail against all this National Socialism. We can start with the CBC first and foremost, but we've got the healthcare system, the education system, which is all nationalist and socialist, right? It's all built on National Socialism. Our entire education system is built on the National Socialist model. Our entire healthcare system is a National Socialist model, right? So once again, it's just a beautiful thing. I just, kind of gets me right here to know that Canadians are actually turning against and rejecting the very concept, the very premise, the very ideology of National Socialism. I am on your side, Canada, and I'm willing to completely go against the kind of National Socialism that you rail against. And I don't care. Hey, I won't even pick sides, right? I'm against it completely. Even the ones that you say that are on the right side of the political spectrum, the Nazis that you call them, and the far rights and the white supremacists, totally with you there. Because you know what? I actually respect and appreciate people from all over the world. To me, I don't judge people by their skin, their race, their background, their heritage. It's about their ideas. Do they care about individual liberty? Do they respect and promote individual liberty? Then I don't care. You could be an alien, come from outer space. I don't care. If you're all about, promoting individual liberty and free market type capitalism as an economic model where everybody has the opportunity to, bring themselves out of poverty, I'm totally on your side, totally with you, 100%. So thanks to you on the left. Thanks for coming out and showing your force, even though it seems to be you're just really railing against your political opponents or what you perceive to be your political opponents. But I'm very happy that at least you're coming around to some degree to join in those of us libertarians, voluntarists, pure anarchists, those who don't believe in rulers, because that's what anarchist means. It doesn't mean they don't believe in rules. It just means they don't believe in rulers. Critical thinkers, objectivists, people that actually promote the individual. Because what are the individuals again? The smallest minority on the planet, right? If you're all about promoting minorities, then you have to completely respect and promote the individual, because the individual is the smallest minority on the planet. Coined phrase from Ayn Rand. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.